Have you ever played a game and thought to yourself, wow, I could totally speedrun that? Well, that itch for me has finally arrived. In World of Unlit, after many unsuccessful attempts to beat the final level, the dopamine hint of accomplishment was sky high. Seeing my time with the associated global rank, I knew at that moment what had to be done. A speedrun on top of a speedrun. The next 24 hours started with a lot of hope. So naive. Being a complete noob to speedrunning, I first had to check how to submit a run. Surfing the internet brought me to speedrun.com. Now it's time to see what I dedicate the next day of my life doing. After absorbing knowledge at a rapid pace, incomprehensible to the mind of like a small puppy, I realized there was a problem. You see, in the video game World of Unlit, you complete levels to beat the game. Each level has varying amounts of secret chests that reward loot. Each level has varying amounts of hidden shops that can exchange loot. The problem is that I was missing two crucial weapons that the current world record speedrunner was using. I was missing weapons on a game that had no guides. Instead, one would have to systematically check each corner of every map to ensure the weapons are obtained. This is going to cost me quite a bit of time. The first level had the trickiest chest in the game. I had to swim my lightsaber at a stormtrooper, launch it 3 stories in the air to land on a small platform so you can nudge it to fall again, to finally be scanned. Accessing the chest. This took not as long as I thought it would. At the end, the reward was absolutely trash though. In the next level, finding chests were hard. Bigger map meant more hiding places. Luckily, when you only have audio effect sounds enabled, you can hear chests in a decent proximity. The gravity gun is officially mine to wield. I spent more time trying to find the kunai, but I had doubts I would ever find it in time. All the preparations so far are complete. The time to perfect speedrunning has began. Oh boy. The only way to describe my first attempts was sad. My grappling hook skills were so bad that at one point I blatantly fall into lava with no survival instinct whatsoever. Once I got a time somewhat comparable to the speedrunner I was trying to beat, I went on to the next level. I did this so I get a holistic view on my progress on the challenge. Instead of narrowing down on one side of the game, I'd be able to see which parts needed the most work to cut down to the most time possible. The second level was much in the spirit of the first. Use grappling hook to race to finish, destroying 2 statues in the process. Since this was familiar territory, I got a passable time and relatively short work. The third level really showed the cracks in my speedrun. The gap in my time versus the speedrunner started to widen. The need to grapple vertical terrain increased the skill needed. I was forced to settle for a time less than desirable. Doubt began to fill my mind. The fourth level is called Cold, because it's cold. Bad puns aside, this was the funnest part of the game to speedrun. It's unlike everything else in the game. You free fall, destroying 2 statues in the process. After landing, you destroy the final one to complete the level. Due to its simplicity, it's very stress-free. Difficult to pull off, yet satisfying. At the end of it, I didn't care about my time. I was just happy to have another easy level to look forward to. Toka Lika. Arguably the most annoying part to perfect, because you spend so much time waiting. And let me tell you, forcing a speedrunner who does this for hours to suddenly do this is painful. Not only that, my times were very inconsistent. I moved on prematurely to avoid Toka Lika. I don't like waiting around for a grapple hook. I mess up half the time. Whatever this level is, Crusat, requires you to slingshot off a plane, destroy a turret, kill a stormtrooper, whip out the handy dandy gravity gun that's finally being used 6 levels in, to scan twice, destroy the one and only statue. Of course, since this is a speedrun, it looks a lot easier than it is, because everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I missed the jet, overshot the intended target hundreds of times, got shot, missed my shots, and the use of the gravity gun was a disaster. I failed to pick up the body, had trouble holding on to the body, because if there was too much, force applied, it automatically disconnects. The device is very finicky. At one point, I even flew in the air, because everything that was supposed to happen didn't happen. Base 4, because the names Base 1, 2, 3 were taken. Destroy a statue, board a ship, wait, make a run for it, get a lucky lightsaber swing to activate scanner, quickly use lightsaber wall hacks to destroy statue. I honestly had no real problems with Base 4. There was, Wait. But not nearly as bad as Taco Lake. And given the restrictive nature of this challenge, I was proud at the time I achieved. Edge Lake is the reason why I decided to speedrun this game at all. Just playing this mission in a normal playthrough brings out the speedrunner in any gamer. I enjoyed doing this run a lot. I think it's a tight corridors with lots of enemies. It gives a sort of gamer rush. Even if your time is terrible, you feel like Space John Wick defeating so many enemies. I regret nothing. Sadly, I couldn't improve my times any longer. Despite having hours left to go, it was time to sleep. I was just tired. It was time for my brain to internalize everything. And I kid you not, my brain did not let me down. I literally dreamt about the game. This is a recreation of what I remember from the dream. The dreaming sequence was short, but it felt like I practiced playing the game for hours. Probably because I just practiced playing the game for hours. I woke up with a lot of confidence and a plan. I would beat my personal best records on each mission as fast as possible. The only way to gauge if I was ready for what was next. Although I beat my record times at lightning speed compared to the day before, the times did not match up to the speedrunner, Monkey 1771. I calculated the numbers, the odds were basically impossible, especially with the fact I would need to be seconds faster in all my times. Clearly, this was not going to work. It would have been nice to complete the whole game any percent run. However, desperation set in. Given my current circumstance, I was looking for any kind of loophole to get my name first in any category. Then it hit me. No grapple, any percent levels, with absolutely no runs attached. And I genuinely had no idea why. I wasn't going to deny my destiny though. I double checked the rules, reading, rereading to confirm I was going to be number one. I took my sweet time. After so many hours trying to optimize every route, it felt good to mess around. I gave an honest attempt at beating a record already set in place, but creating a new record doesn't feel so bad.